Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. Today's exciting episode is sewing plans. Let's take a look at what I'm going to make, hopefully, this month, April 2024. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket. But before we get into the plans, do you want to see the jacket I'm working on? Do you want to? Well, I'm going to show you anyway. Of course I am. So this is it here. I made this jacket during Vlogmas, so December last year, in the second half of December. It's the blue Italian tweed, one of my absolute favourite tweeds. I've been hanging on to this one for fear of messing up. Finally made it into a jacket, and now I am beading it. So I did a test. If you can see the pins, don't worry about the pink bits. That's just the lining, and I had to sort of fold it away to do the beading. And here we go. I've done a sample section. For the longest time, I couldn't figure out how I was going to bead it, but then I was like, because I've been working on the vintage knits Chanel style jacket, I was like, actually. And another Italian tweed, the green one, has red beads on it. So it's kind of like that, but different. And because I'm working on the vintage knit jacket, I'm using really, really tiny beads. And I will show you, I have done a little bit more of that, but it was just too finicky. The beads are tiny that I'm using on that one. So I was like, I got to do something, bigger, better, that I can get finished quicker. Well, not finished, of course. I'm just halfway through everything. Well, I've done a sixth of it. So anyway, here I'm showing you a bit, but I'll wait until it's on the mannequin to tell you about it. So yeah, I picked all these beads in matching colors. So dark blues and greens and teals. And it's a mix of plastic beads and glass beads, and I just think they look absolutely beautiful together. So here we go. It's on the mannequin now, and yeah, as you can see, I've only done one front, and I left a line half done because a lot of people always ask me how you do the beading. You just literally just do it one bead at a time. I know it sounds ridiculously simple, but you stitch a bead on, go back, stitch it on again. So each bead has to be stitched on at least twice. If it's a heavy glass one, I usually do it 3 times. And then and then you do every second bead, and then you go back and you do all the other beads in between. See that row there? There's only every second bead is done. I do that first, and then I go back and I do the other side, and that way the beads are held on better because they're not all on one strand. It's a couple of different ones. It's like how trees don't fall down when it's really windy because they've got so many small roots and they all sort of anchor it. It's the same idea with the threads you use to bead. You just put a little bit of weight on each thread, and then the whole jacket carries it well and it ages well. So yeah, you sort of get a rough idea of what it's going to look like, but not really. And I like the weight of the beads. They bring shape to the jacket once they're all done. I sort of move around so you can compare the side with the beading to the side not. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on at the moment, and this is what I was working on before that. I put it up here to film it, but you really can't tell. So I worked a little bit on these shoulders bit. There's a bit more pink, and it's a little bit more of the oval, sort of beigey oatmeal coloured beads. And then I did this line at the top, at the back, the green one. And yeah, used up the last of those big round and long barrel shaped jade beads. And yeah, I definitely don't have enough of the faceted oval oatmeal coloured beads. So I'm trying to decide between those beigey coloured ones and these ones here. So I thought the creamy white ones might be a bit too bright, so that's why I was favouring those sort of beigey coloured ones. But then I pinned one up, and I think I'll use the beigey ones for the rows with pink seed beads on them, and then for the rows with clear seed beads, I think I'll use the cream ones, because the cream ones aren't as white as I thought they would be once you put them on the jacket. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do, because unfortunately I just don't have enough of those faceted ones. I think I'm actually going to have to undo a row on the back further down the back of the faceted ones so that I have enough for the bottom for most of the sleeves, and that way the front and the sleeves will look uniform. And then the back will be slightly different, and a bit of the sleeves will be slightly different too, so that from all angles it looks like it all ties itself in. And yeah, so I've got plenty of beads to do the blue Italian yet to go. And I thought I'd just show you. So these are my current favorite ones. I use some of them in the dragonfly jacket, and then there's just I group them so you can sort of see them. Heavy glass ones in different like barrel shape, and faceted round one. There's some full-on round ones. There's the faceted just means like with all the angles, and the round ones obviously. These blue ones with the white bits on the end, they're actually white beads that are sprayed blue, and I bought them when they were on a string, so they all looked like they were fully blue, but then when I cut them off, and these front barrel ones are plastic. So yeah, I think there's a nice mix of all different types. But when I use those blue ones that, have the white bits on them, I make sure that I use a big bead on either side, and that way you can't really see the white. You can see it sort of glimpses of it, which matches the tweed, and the lines that I'm using to go over on the tweed are the bits I like least of the tweed. They're sort of white, so I'm covering up that so it looks more green and blue, so I really like that about it. Okay, so now it is time to talk about my plans for April 2024, and I got all this fabric out because I'm doing this fabric challenge where you have to it's a 30 yards challenge, and you have to use up 30 yards from your stash before you buy any new fabric. And I'm just got to the point where I've got so much fabric I cannot buy any more anyway. So I thought, well, I might as well do this challenge. So that's what I'm doing. This month I'm going to try and use up 30 yards of fabric. So there'll be a couple of jackets, but they only use a yard each. So the rest will be a few, I think maybe some layer cake dresses. This is what I mean by layer cake dress. It's just layers upon layers upon layers of all different fabrics. I also love the one that used up the leftover bits of fabric, and some of those were fat quarters cut up into sections and then sewn back together. And I do have that stack right on the right side there. That entire stack is fat quarter squares, and I've gotten them out and ironed most of them. I still have a few more to iron, but I've also got the leftovers of that first summer jacket, the cotton jacket that I made, the reversible one. So I've got to make that into a dress, and that'll be about 5.5 yards. And then I've got all these, and oh my god, there's about 40, 50 of these, so that would be another 10 yards or so. And yeah, I was thinking I'd do a pink and green one, and then one with all the aqua and yellow, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a really colourful one. I don't know, I don't really have any rainbow patchwork ones. I always do them in colour blocks. I just love those little lambs. I wish I'd bought more of those ones, but I kind of just got what was there. So I've got like 10 of one, and then it's just ridiculous. So anyway, and I've also got some other fabrics. Like, I just love this one. I was going to make a cowboy shirt out of it, but I think and 2 of these I made a jacket from. So I've only got 1 yard of those ones left. So that's 1, 2, 4, 6 yards there out of 4 different fabrics. And I'm just going to make a dress to go with the matching summer jacket that I made. This is a reversible jacket. So one side's the daisy and the other side's the Liberty of London blue. So yeah. So that's going to be a big sort of like that layer cake dress I just showed you sort of. But if I added a few more yards, it'd be more maxi. So I'm thinking maybe I'll add some yellow, because there is yellow in all those blue and white ones. There's tiny little, the center of each flower and little sprigs are in yellow. And I've also got this one. It's sort of a bluey aqua with yellow in there. And I think it'll just, because those 4 match so well that they sort of, you don't notice them. They kind of look like all the same ones. So I'm thinking of throwing some yellow into the mix to sort of so you can actually notice all the different prints, and it's a little bit of a, scratch in the harmony of it all. So those are the ones I'm thinking of making a, gorgeous summer maxi dress out of all of those, layer cake style. And just, yeah. And also I'm going to do an episode where because I haven't done an episode of everything I made in February. So I'm going to do a February-March one of everything I made in February-March, because I didn't really, in December and in January, like for the whole of the holidays, I was doing one episode a day. So there were loads of things that I made. Whereas in February, March, not so much. So I'm going to do a whole everything I made episode of both those months combined. And then also it's time to do finally another jacket pattern review, because I've done like I think I've done 7 or 8 new jacket patterns. So I'll just do a video where I review all of those. So I'm not sure I'll get 30 yards of dresses done. I think it'll be like 5 dresses, unless I add in some jackets as well. Anyway, and I'm also going to look at a couple of fashion documentaries. There's one called Advanced Style, and there's this guy, Ari. He's on Instagram. His Instagram is called Advanced Style, and he lives in New York, obviously. You can tell. I love her hair. It's so cool. As I get older, I want that white, Cruella de Vil haircut. I think it's so cool. I've got a couple of white hairs at the moment, but I'm willing it into existence, that Cruella hairdo. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to look at that fashion documentary and do a commentary for it. And these are just, I think I might make a couple more of those summer jackets as well, because I really like that one with the rounded front. Yeah, this one here, it's so pretty. And I also wanted to make this Chanel style jacket out of the other half of that fabric. But yeah, oh, this fabric is so pretty. And I know it's autumny rather than springy, but it is autumn in some part of the world. Again, a double-sided jacket out of those two. This one, and this is me just trying different fabrics together, but these 2 vintage style prints, again, I think I'll make one of those rounded front jackets out of these ones as well. I think they look absolutely gorgeous together. And then again, use all the leftovers to make a dress. And these are the tweeds that I have set aside to make up before the end of this year. So there's a velvet, the blue and green one is a decorator fabric velvet, and then the pink one, that's the one I want to put pink flowers on, but I just did the other pink one. Anyway, a couple of them are on my Make 9 list for this year, so once I've made them, I'll do an update on my Make 9s, because I think I've only done a couple of them, but yeah, I really need to get into gear for those. Oh, and I found my ladybug bead. I have been searching for this for the longest time, and I've got a ladybug heart bead, so it's a solid glass bead, and it's got little black dots in it, so it looks like a ladybug too. I don't know that I'll use them on the same jacket, but I'm glad I found them. So I have to, yeah, I think it will get lost in this. I think I'll save it for maybe a tweed jacket. I'm just looking at the bits I have to finish of this one. Anyway, oh, and I cleaned my thread drawer. Gold star for me. So I thought I'd show you. I don't know. Anyway, the reason I have so many of those thin reels of the Gooderman is that I bought these. They had this promotional thing, and I bought loads of them because it was cheaper than buying my usual big spools. So yeah, I took them out of their promotional packs and they're all ready to go. So I've got some of them are Gooderman Mara on the left, then the Gooderman Standard that I use for my sewing machine. And then this is poly, and it's slightly thicker, and it's just better to use on medium and large beads. So yeah, that's why I have so many different types and obviously so many different colours, because I use all different tweeds and beads. Anyway, there we go. Those are my plans. Lots of plans, far too many for 1 month, but hopefully I'll get some of the things done. So yeah, and I love these together. They just look like a ray of sunshine and a beautiful blue sky. Anyway, so I am going to go back to my blue Italian tweed and bead all those green and blue beads on it. I love this tweed, and I'm glad I finally figured out how I was going to do it, because yeah, I really did have a fear of messing up this one, because I love this particular type of tweed, and I got like 5 of them, I think, in different colorways, and the denim blue one was by far my favorite. So I'm glad I've finally settled on a design for it, and yeah, I'm slowly getting there. As I said, there's like 6 sections, like front left, front right, back left, back right, and each of the sleeves. So I've done 1 of the 6 sections. So yes, I shall keep going. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've been inspired to, I don't know, make plans and then never get around to doing them. Anyway, thanks again. Happy sewing.